Happy holidays, my friends. This is day 2 of 12 Days of Tangent, and you're here with me, Yjang. In this episode, we go on to talk about our habits and also our means of communication on Discord, and how, despite the fact they tend to be miles, if not cities apart, how we communicate with each other despite having different sleep schedules and habits. And we also go on to follow up from some listener comments about the dub versus sub argument and what it means to experience other people's culture. Without further ado, let's get right into it. I've been trying to invest a lot of time into, getting good at, programming, and as well as learning some freelancing tips to try to start it up next year.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I mean, I've kind of gotten used to you just like ghosting for hours at a time. Like I'll send you a message on Discord and you'll get back in like 3 hours when I'm off doing something completely different. Like, okay, just like 2 words. And I'll be like, that's just how Yjang talks to me. I'll shoot him like entire paragraphs and he'll respond with a single sentence. That's just kind of how it works.
Yeah, the thing is that I don't know why, but for me, I just like whenever you send me something really long, and I think I mentioned this before, I'm in the middle of something else that might get my attention. And then by the time I come back and I'm done with it, I'm ready to sit down and invest. The communication is already kind of like, the time is kind of off. But I see this whole thing is like, oh, wow. Okay, let me go through it. And it's really like well crafted, or it's like a really interesting thought. Or I send you stuff that takes like, for you respond to it quickly, but I'm probably like going to bed. And that's why you might see me like at 4 a.m. or at 5 a.m. or even like, 7 in the morning responding to something that you might have sent to me at 11. You respond
very early in the morning, yes.
Yeah, because I don't know. I found a lot of my flow begins really well in the morning, and I kind of mentioned this before, but so yeah, I know. If I had the ability, I probably would stay up late, but from my experience, I noticed that a lot more people my age stay up late. So the fact that I can get up early means that no one bothers me at all, which is why I've been kind of building it up. Like for some unknown godly reason, I woke up at 3:55 this morning. I have no idea.
At like midnight last night, and you'll probably hear me yawning because I won't get my energy till like 5 o'clock tonight.
And that's the thing. I really don't know why, because I usually get up at 6 a.m. anyway, or 5:30. And the fact that I got up at like, basically 4 o'clock, I was so confused because I went to bed at, say, 10:30. And I'm just, in my head, I guess I got like maybe like about like 6 hours, less than 6 hours of sleep. But I felt great.
Yeah, around 6. Yeah. Well, that's entirely things like sleep cycles and like, if you could figure out when exactly you're going to fall asleep and you can set your alarm exactly so you're not in REM sleep or something like that so you can get a full rest cycle. I read I didn't read. Someone gave a speech about that.
I think it's one of those things that I think more in this common age, people are starting to understand that sleep is more important than ever. But I do get the feeling like a lot more people care less about sleep than I do. And I'm very strict on, trying to figure out when is the best time for me to eat, to exercise, or for me to go to bed, because I found that whenever you really get these things in tune, you're able to get a lot of stuff done. Like today, I was able to do a lot of research and study, and now I'm already like doing this show. So it's it really kicks you off in a good mood.
I mostly just follow my internal clock. When I'm hungry, I eat. When I'm tired, I usually wait a little while, then I go to sleep, and that sort of thing. I just follow whatever my body tells me it needs, and I'll go with it. I don't really keep a schedule. Like I have alarms on my phone to like, hey, go to your room. It's like 11 o'clock. And I most times follow them unless I'm doing something else important, like I'm doing a project or something like that. But I just keep that sort of thing, and then I go to my room, and then I could either pass out immediately, or I could fall asleep at like 1 a.m. It really depends on how I feel that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you seem very pattern based.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I'm actually, is the one thing I'm actually dead afraid of is someone trying to learn my schedule so well that they try to take advantage of it, and that would be.
Yes, someone couldn't learn my schedule because it changes every.
And I feel like the fact that I'm speaking on this podcast is actually something I should be careful about, but who knows?
People, if they tried hard enough, they could probably find everything out about us. Honestly.
They're gonna come to my room at like 1 a.m. and I'm gonna be barely awake. And
I got a baseball bat next to my bed. People, don't try it.
No, worse, they're gonna come to my room at 1 a.m. and say, "Actually, I want to disagree what you think about subs in the last podcast."
Because you're wrong.
Because you're wrong. No.
Listen. One of our mutual friends, his name starts with J.
Okay.
What's it called? He starts texting me, and he's like, "I agree with Yjang. Your opinion on sub versus dub is bad." And I'm gonna read his last text he sent to me. He says that is what makes it more entertaining. You are experiencing what is uncommon to your everyday life. You are reading subs, but you are listening to how foreign people express their emotions. What the fuck? So stupid. If you're reading subs, you're not experiencing how they express their emotions. You're just reading what the voice actor would say.
Now, here's one thing I will give my friend credit and also some criticism. The fact that you're experiencing their language means that you're able to get a better understanding how they perceive the world different than you. And that's a perspective that you won't get unless you hear someone talking their own language react to situations that you may encounter or might not encounter.
But I can't understand the expressions in their language. Besides universals, I don't know the
That's why they have subtitles.
How it works.
So you can read it.
But the subs are just translations. They're just translations. There's no inflection in a subtitle. There's no emotion.
No, but it's not. You're focusing a lot on the subtitle than you're focusing on the voice, and I think that's the thing that I'm.
How can you pay attention to both at the same time?
It comes with experience, my dude. You have to like. I told you, I have 7 years of experience, almost coming on 8 soon. Just listening and watching and consuming anime and video games. So
I'd rather just hear the inflection and emotion in a voice that I can understand.
Funimation will love to have your money, but I will say,
well, they're not getting it because I don't want to pay for 3 different anime sites to watch things. So
we'll have to talk about this.
Hello, viewers. Hope you're enjoying the podcast. You should go follow us on Twitter at The Tangent Pod. I just made a new Twitter. You can follow me at T Krogan. We're doing the 12 Days of Christmas until Christmas Eve, starting the 12th. So the 12 Days of Christmas. I hope you enjoy that. You can follow Yjang on Twitter. We also have a Patreon if you want to give us some money. It would be appreciated. So you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/tangentpodcast. Just know that you have our thanks and you're helping support the podcast. We are also on Facebook. It's at Official Tangent Podcast. And of course, we're at tangentpodcast.com. Check us out there. We are trying to improve it every episode. We're trying to make the podcast better. If you have ideas or suggestions, tweet us. So I want to thank you all for listening to the Tangent Podcast. I really appreciate it. Making this podcast, it's something that I can give back to the world. That's why it's not really why I started doing this. I started doing this because I wanted to talk to my best friend,